Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fixing Futures featuring Tucker. And today we are going to be winterizing the leaf blowers.
Yeah, so every year when we put our leaf blowers into storage, our trimmers as well, we go through a process to winterize them to keep them up to date or maintained over the winter in storage, so that in spring we don't have any problems trying to start them or get them running. So, Tucker, have you ever done it before?
No, I've never done it.
He's never winterized an engine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it together because we have two identical machines here. I'll do one, he's gonna follow me on the other. Then we have another one slightly different that we're gonna bring on, and Tucker's gonna do the whole thing himself to make sure he learned it. Alright, so the first step is we're going to add fuel stabilizer into the gas tanks. So do you want to open your gas cap?
Yeah. Take my gloves off.
Now this is add 100 milliliters of this to 30 liters of gasoline, which is a big red can. So we don't need that much. We've got about a liter in there, a little more than a liter in here. So for 30 liters we need 100. So 30 divided by, oh, we need 1 liter. This is 30. So we have to divide 100 by 30.
100 divided by 30.
That'd be 3. 3.3.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. So the mark on here, the smallest, is 5 milliliters. So we'll just add 5 milliliters to each one. And that'll keep the fuel stabilized for the winter. It helps preserve the octane and allows the gasoline to be in storage for prolonged periods of time and not go bad or lose the octane, which is what helps it ignite. So I will add 5 milliliters. Dump it in. Now for that, just squeeze the big bottle, goes up the side and fills the measuring cup. Yeah, that's good. You can add that in.
It's like medicine.
It does look like medicine. So the first step was adding the correct amount of fuel stabilizer. Now we can put the caps back on.
Okay.
Give it a little shake to mix the fuel around to make sure it's well mixed in the tank. And then on these particular engines, they have a primer bulb on the bottom of the carburetor, right there.
Oh yeah.
It's rubber and it squeezes. And there's 2 tubes coming out of it. So one tube pulls fuel from the tank up into the carburetor and fills it. But once the carburetor's full, the second tube brings it back into the tank. So it flows through. Only small engines have those, bigger engines don't. So when you do this with a bigger engine, you actually have to start it up and run it so the fuel goes through all the gas lines and into the carb. That way the entire system is winterized. But this one, we can just push the primer bulb about 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is sucking the fuel up from the tank, through the lines, into the carburetor, and overflowing back down in. So all of the stabilized fuel is going through the entire system. There, the fuel part is done. Now next we take out the spark plug and we add engine storage spray directly into the cylinder. And it's just kind of an oil spray. It coats the piston and the inside of the engine with just an oily film so that it doesn't corrode, it doesn't rust, and it stays nice and clean during storage. So So the first thing you need to do is take the spark plug off, and for that we got to take this boot. Then we use a ratchet, and for spark plugs there's actually two different sizes, a big one and a small one. And when you get socket kits, there will always be two sockets that have this hex head on the top. Those are generally spark plug wrenches. So what we'll do is take the spark plug out. No, you're going the right way. I didn't adjust it. No, you need to turn the break it free. There. And now spin.
That way or this way?
That way. Yep. Take your spark plug out. Then it'll hold the rubber boot to the side and spray this directly in that hole. A couple good shots right inside.
Like 3?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Then we can put the spark plug back in. Now we always want to start this with our fingers rather than a wrench, just in case it cross threads. Which is when the threads don't line up properly and it kind of gets locked. And then when you keep forcing it, it wrecks the threads inside.
I think I did it good enough.
Yeah, once you get it a few threads in, you can add the wrench to it. And it'll go until it stops, it's snug. And you just give it just a little touch. Let's make sure that's started. Yeah, there you go. You're good to go on that one.
Which way? Do I turn it this way?
No. Yep, that way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
This is going left.
That's going to the right.
Oh.
And then just a little snug past that. No, yeah, that's good. Why don't you turn so your back's not to the camera? So now we're gonna leave this off because we don't want it to spark and start. Because if it sparks, it'll burn all that off and we'll have to redo it. So we leave this boot off and we'll pull it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that mixes the oil all over, coats the entire cylinder. Now everything in there is protected. And now I can add the spark plug cap back on.
So
pull hard.
you usually do this, so I'm not used to it. I do trimmers, not leaf blowers.
This engine's a little bit bigger than you're used to. Alright, that's good. Now you can put the rubber cap back on. Push it down hard until it clips.
Everybody.
Alright, we can bring it over on the floor. You grab that one, I'll grab this one.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly different blower, but it's going to be the same process. Do you remember?
Yeah, so I get the cap off for the red thing.
Now this one is actually pretty full of fuel.
Yeah.
So we'll add a little bit more than the 5 milliliters. Maybe we'll do 10 or 15.
I'll just put my gloves back on.
Oh, we've got to take the cap off of this side first to give the air somewhere to escape to.
Yeah.
And show them what you're doing. There you go.
Like, I think right about here.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then after, I have to dump it in. I cap that on and you have to make sure to shake it a little bit. Then there's a bulb and you have to push it 20 times.
It's called a primer bulb. So that helps start it in the morning or after it's been sitting for a while. It brings fresh fuel up and into the carburetor so it's ready to fire.
Then you get thing off.
This one has a slightly different cover.
Ooh, I don't know how to do this one.
That one you just pull straight up.
And get this.
And keep in mind we tightened the last one, so you will have to adjust the top of that ratchet. Is that the right socket? Does it fit?
No, it doesn't fit.
Let's have a look. No, so remember I said socket sets usually come as sets of 2, a big one and a small one. So that one was the small one.
So do we need a big one?
And this has the hex head up top, so we know that's another spark plug wrench.
I'm gonna push that straight on. So you turn it the other way.
Pull it towards you. Hold on. No, you're tightening, so you gotta turn the top. So that we loosen.
here.
Yeah. So up inside here, sometimes they put a rubber gasket, so it holds the end of it, so that when you go to put it back into threaded in, it holds the into the socket for you, so it doesn't fall out.
Oh. So then you gotta get the spray and spray directly into here. 1, 2, 3. And you put this back.
Yes, but we should do it by hand first, the first few threads, to make sure we don't cross thread it.
This is difficult. I can't get that out.
No,
Oh, I get it now.
yeah, so it holds it in there.
Then you make it so tightens.
So sometimes with that, if you wiggle it back and forth, it'll come right off. And then first, this is your test. I'm not supposed to tell you the answers. I'll scooch by and help hold it for you.
Then after you put this back on,
So that can be tricky. See how there's a little lip here?
yeah.
That's got to fit in all the way around.
I did it.
I think you passed.
Yeah.
Good job, bud. Really proud of you. So what do you think? Is that hard?
A little
Talk to them.
bit. It was a little bit hard.
On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest, 10 being super hard, you couldn't do it.
It would be about like a 4 or 5.
4 or 5, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure after you do it a few times, you'll get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Are you going to help do the snow blowers in the spring?
Yeah. I will.
Alright. On to the next one.